Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about how incredibly powerfully um, President Donald Trump used um, the Theo Vaughn interview to counter program Kamala Harris and just really virtually destroy her last week on time, attention, momentum, and how Kamala Harris truly is just falling back. You could see this in real time. This is a silent surrender. What's happening with Kamala Harris is a placeholder. In my humble opinion, it's not a real campaign. I don't think Kamala is in on the joke, but I think every DNC person knows that has no chance of any type of win. It's not going to be close. It's not it's not real. It's not a real campaign in my humble opinion. All right. And how the reality is this, this guy, Donald Trump, this reality TV star has come out to be one of the strongest political maneuverers, the most Machiavellian operator in history. It's astonishing to watch this. So first of all, I have a degree in political science. I'm very proud of that. My bachelor's is in political science, and my master's is in business administration. And it watching this, it's like watching, just a master chef, right? So the DNC comes out, and we're seeing all of this, DNC content. The mainstream media just embarrasses themselves with the coverage of the DNC. The best description of the coverage of the DNC was Jon Stewart said, "I've never seen more coverage of less news." Right? There was just nothing happening there. Like Kamala had this opportunity to say, "Hey, this is how we're going to do it different. These are the new policies." She's like, "Hey, you want more 4 years of this, absolute heck of wasteland that you've had for the last 4? I'm going to give it to you." And you're like, "Are you kidding? Is that what you're saying?" That's what she's saying. So let me explain why the Theo Vaughn interview is so important. All right, let's dig in. Okay. So the Theo Vaughn interview with Donald Trump it accomplished so many things. So first of all, if you don't know, Theo Vaughn is a dyed-in-the-wool, real brick wall and a microphone comedian. He makes his bones doing actual stand-up. He's an actual stand-up comic, right? And he's not one of these, like Jim Gaffigan has 10 movies now, and his own show, right? Or had his own show. This guy's real. Like, he travels all across the United States of America, stands in front of in front of a brick wall, picks up a microphone and makes people laugh. And that's literally how he feeds himself, right? Now, these days with his new podcast, that guy's doing a lot more than feeding himself. He's putting gas in a yacht. But the reality is, he's a real comedian. Okay, a real brick wall and a microphones comedian, and that's important because there are a lot of comedians, right? But the comedians respect the guys who do it the best and do it most straight, right? Like this, like just brick wall and a microphone. Can you do that? And Theo Vaughn can, right? He's been doing it for like 15, 20 years. And he has so much charm and so much goodwill with regular people. Literally the exact type of person who might be a swing voter, right? And the person who's undecided, they're going to, "Oh, Theo Vaughn, man, I love him. He's made me laugh so many times." And Donald Trump does a big, long interview with him. And I thought it was a mistake to go that long, but I'm starting to think he knew what he was doing. Because every bit of goodwill for Theo Vaughn is attached to President Donald Trump by the end of this interview. So any undecideds, right? And there are still a few out there. Frankly, I'm actually an undecided. I'm having a hard time deciding right now. Only because I genuinely think, President Trump is a horrible liar, a horrible person, and a horrible leader. But the reason why I'm really strongly considering I would say I'm about a 90% right now. Voting for him is, I just cannot endure another 4 years of what we just went through, right? An absolute jackhammering of the American dream, right? I just can't do it, right? And I can't watch people murdered all over the world because because every tin pot punk dictator in the world is like, oh, it's open season. We could do as much villainy as we want under the the Dove Dems. Yes, like yeah, our president's a coward, so you could go to town, right? And they are. They're murdering people left and right. I cannot. So America sucks. The world sucks. I cannot multiply that with Kamala Harris, and she's going to multiply it by 2 to 10. Right? I can't. But I really don't like the idea of voting for this this horrible liar leader person, right? Like he's actually he's a great liar. Like he lies constantly, right? So it's weird saying he's a horrible liar. He's a horrible person, a horrible leader who lies constantly. So I'm not like, oh, I can't wait to vote for President Trump. Right? It's going to be one of the most painful things I've ever done, right? Like, let me get all the way there. Okay. He attached all goodwill of Theo Von to himself. The other thing that was really incredible, there was product placement in the interview. There's this Realty, RYLTTEA, and it was sitting next, it's very prominently placed, sitting next to Theo Von and to Donald Trump. And I think Theo Von brought that because he was going to get bank paid, right? Because I don't think President Donald Trump's doing product placement right now. But I think Theo Von was, and I love that Trump was like, yeah, I'm going to help you. Like this is America, it's capitalism. Whereas the Dems are like, oh, we can't hawk your tea juice. We don't like capitalism. So like, I think that really astounded me. And then, the last thing about this interview, this banger baller video, which is so good, right, for Donald Trump, is happening when Kamala is doing 0 interviews, right? Like, just like, I heard that she might have done 1, right? But right now, there's still this story of do not put her in front of an interviewer because when she talks, people like her less, right? Like, and so it's just, and so in general people, right? You could put her in front of your rally troops, right? And so that's, anybody who's already, and that's the other thing is people who are already Birkenstock hummus eaters are excited for the Dems. Oh, you weren't before? Like, and this is the issue. Like, Kamala is doing nothing to win new voters. And the Tim Walz selection is just a megaphone. This is not real. Tim Walz will not bring a single voter. A no-name governor from a state most people cannot spell will not, absolutely not, bring a single new voter. And we could have chosen people who definitely would. This is not a real campaign. Like, I'm telling you, like, Tim Walz was a megaphone saying, this is a silent surrender. Nothing you're seeing here is real. This is not a real campaign. The Dems are like, we actually had to put up a candidate just like, so that we still look like we're a functioning party, but everybody knows this is lost, right? Like, so it was, the Theo Von interview is a very important moment, historical moment in this campaign. It's one of the most important. Trump attached every bit of goodwill from Theo Von to himself, right? Powerful. Trump was like, hey, you know what you could do in the middle of a presidential election? Powerful product placement. RYLT. I didn't even know that thing existed, right? Like, that's pretty baller for a president to be like, I'm going to help you with your product placement. Let's get this done. Why don't I go out back and help you chop wood? I'm like, that's real. That is real, right? And it gave me more respect for Donald Trump and for Theo Von. And I'm so happy to see Theo Von winning like this, right? And then last, he, when they can't drag Harris to an interview, Trump's like, let's do it, man. Hour long. Let's talk about white lines. Like, it was powerful, powerful, powerful. All right. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part's when I hear yours. When you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing and have a fetch millennium.